PHNX Rising podcast. Appreciate you guys joining us on a Thursday before match day. We are almost there. Two more sleeps.
Western Conference final.
Let's go.
Match day.
Let's go.
Western Conference
time.
final match day.
Oh man. I can already see the chat being very active and incredibly sympathetic to us.
Damon says Max will be late to his own wedding and still won't buy beers.
One of those two things may be true. Find out to see which one it is. Well, actually, that's assuming Samantha, who's not in the chat, probably would have to say yes at some point.
Sam,
but hey,
please top in the chat and tell us more about.
Oh gosh, no, we're all go. Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm a little dizzy there. Oh man, we're shaking things up. Hey, see what I did there? Like that one, but. Yeah, everyone seeing us. I think Max was late. I see. No, we blame Owen per usual. Let's see. Devin All, why is this podcast late? Listen, we got to keep you guys waiting. We understand there's a lot of anticipation. Saturday's a big match. It wouldn't be right of us to start on time. We wouldn't do that. I got to keep you guys intrigued, keep you guys interested just a little bit. Seeing Fat Kid with the comment, Reese, it's on you to make sure Max doesn't make any bets or predictions on Rising's next game, because, well, you know what happened.
Hashtag Max out.
I don't know what we're talking about here. I don't think there's any correlation.
Well, rumor has it that you bet on the D-backs to win, which is clearly a mistake, because when you bet on them to win, they don't win.
No, I lose when I bet on soccer.
No, you lose in general, Max.
No, I actually have quite a winning record overall.
I say this with the greatest respect that I can possibly show you. You are a loser, my friend.
What the hell does that mean? There was zero respect in that comment.
You also stood in the spot. You stood in the spot.
That was a lie. That was a lie.
That was a lie.
Max is buying beers on the train Saturday morning. Catch me in a good mood.
Max buying beers
I'll
on
buy
the
train. Beer. How about that?
Who was it who said that you stood in the spot yesterday?
Yeah, Saul said.
That was Saul
Bookman says a lot of stuff.
Saul said that you stood in the spot.
Saul Bookman, you put this on record. Is a lie. Who put a dislike button? Are you kidding me? This is unbelievable. The chat does not like it.
It's because of you, Max.
This chat does
ruining.
Not like it.
It's got to be Saul.
No. Saul, if it was Saul, he'd be in here right now and stirring up stuff. We all know that to be true. But hey,
I mean, you can go get him if you want, Reese. He's just probably out there.
You won't.
No, he won't.
Yeah, he won't do. Stat-lacky don't do nothing. But hey, appreciate everyone got a good show for you guys.
Ripping on the Stat-lacky today as well.
Not on anything. Listen, we're trying to rip some shots here. We're talking about Phoenix Rising ripping some shots on Sacramento Republic, right? That's the name of the game here. It's interesting, right? Rising played very two matches this season against Sacramento Republic. One, not bad, right? Rising got a nice 2-1 victory at home. Everything was all good. Yeah, but then they had that other one.
The other one, yeah.
Yeah, no, maybe it's a bit of a shellacking, as some might say. A little bit of a 4-0 drubbing, some might say.
It was terrible.
It was beautiful.
You know what, though? I look at this, and it lines the goals up perfectly on here, and they're pretty well spaced out. But Rising did concede 4 goals in the first half of that game. Keko with 1, Cicerone with 1, Lewis with 1, Guerra with 1. What a delightful, utter nightmare that game was from Phoenix Rising's perspective.
Yeah.
And again, this is a while ago, right? A while ago. No. James, it's okay. Don't worry. We care about the Coyotes as well. We wouldn't subject them to Max.
Thank you, Bananas Bluebird, by the way, as well. Owen placed a bet on the D-backs to win the whole damn thing, huh?
It was a bonus bet.
Oh, I'm sorry. You still bet and lost, but we're not talking about that. We're not talking about how you were at Chase Field. It's always Max losing bets, but not you, Owen.
Max loses bets. I tend to do better than he does.
Here we go.
But as we look back to that game back in July, right? And there's a much different Phoenix Rising team in some ways. It was Kev Lambert's last ever game with this team. It was. People going off in the chat about.
We're not hating any of the other Valley sports teams. We all love everyone. The Suns, the Cardinals, the Coyotes. A lot of good storylines.
Not Tucson. But anyway, we move on. Damon's not here for that one, so it's okay. But as we look to that game back in July, we will get there eventually. You look at what happened in that match, and you look at how, just again, Rising ultimately did manage to. They got 10 shots off, right? Only 2 on target. Yeah. Unfortunately, that kind of subbed it up, right? Compare that to Sacramento, who took 12 shots and 9 on target. I mean, that tells you a lot about what happened in that game, right?
Oh, very much so.
And Sacramento managed to batter Rising in many ways, despite having half of the final third entries that Rising had in that game. That tells you again something about the fact that, look, when you get the ball into the final third, it doesn't really matter if you're not going to look to actually do something with it. And in this case, I think Rising at that point were a little bit less focused at times in what they did. I mean, look, we've got a whole load of stuff. We're going to have some videos to kind of break some down and some of the talk about what's happened with that since that last meeting. But again, you look at it overall, it was a poor performance, right? It was one that Mo Traore, as he was speaking to us today, said was a bit of a slap in the face.
Oh, yeah.
In a lot of ways, that game. Rising went there hoping, again, they had a game against Monterey Bay coming up on the weekend after it. And yes, they went there. They got the result there. But you'd hope they wouldn't have gone in there having gotten battered in the way that they did. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because I think we saw Danny Trejo in a bit of a different role in that game. There was a bit of really just some different stuff going on there. I think what we saw out there, you look at the lineup that he put out, and it was Manuel Arteaga leading the line. You had Panos and Fede out there, and you had Danny Trejo as well. And trying to work out how you're going to get those people there working together, how you're going to put that all together in a way that's going to work in terms of finding out who's in the right spots. That's a difficult one, right? And we've seen that multiple times. You get the multiple attacking players out there, and trying to work out quite how you're going to piece it together is a challenge. And again, I mean, looking at that one, Varela and Arteaga practically on top of each other. You have Trejo and Almanacas out wide, yes, but Manjoma really narrow. I mean, Rising not having a great deal on the right-hand side in that game when you look at the average positioning.
Kurtzen in there. To Mikey's point, there was no Iceman Stenberg then.
No Stenberg at that time. That's completely correct. You also have Traore playing as a wing back, right? And I think Stenberg really a very good signing, as Fat Kid's saying there in the chat. Stenberg has really changed things around, to be honest, since coming out. He's a really good presence in the back, and someone who's also capable now. Of course, that Darius Formella, talking about Derek there, he was present at the game. He wasn't in the matchday squad, true, but he was there. He was watching along from the touchline. He was watching in the stand.
True. Yeah, it's I think if you really look at that match against Sacramento, I don't think it's hyperbole to say that it was really an inflection point for the season. It's, dare I even say, a bit of a turning point in some ways, right? I mean, listen, it's not like they started the entirety of their streak after that point, the unbeaten run, but it is something where after that match, where Rising really offered very little threat moving forward, where very much they were just at bay for all 4 of those goals that Sacramento scored were in the first half, right? Like, they were under siege the entire match. They were out before they even really had a chance. That was really the last time we saw quite, such a shaky Rising defense, first off, where they're just leaking in goals, where they really weren't able to keep pace with a lot of these, attackers in the USL, right? Again, credit John Stenberg, credit Mo Traore, guys coming on who were able to get the job done down the stretch of the season. But the other part of this was really after that game, we saw Rising able to work in a bit of those vertical passes, right? Whether it is being able to stretch it through Panos Armanacas, playing balls into, think Manuel Arteaga, think Danny Trejo, a lot of those runs. It was less of this side-to-side that we had seen up to that point, and really moving forward up until, I would say, really the last half of that unbeaten run, we really saw this team from that Sac game on have a bit more dynamism in their attacking play, and it really was a slap to the face. If that's what woke them up, Well, let's actually have a listen now to one thing that Juan Guerra was telling us about earlier today when he was saying about kind of the differences and what they came out of that meeting against Sacramento with.
I think that was a turning point of our season. If you ask me, yes, I was very upset after the game, but so were the players, so was the staff. Many people, when they have asked me this question a lot this week, and also they have asked me, what was the turning point of the season? And I promise you, every time I say what the turning point was or it is, people look at me weird. They're expecting me to say it was a 6-0 at home versus Memphis, or the 5-0 versus El Paso or Detroit. The turning point for us in the season was losing to Sacramento 4-0 away. How do you bounce back from adversity? how you fight back, how you could push forward when things are not going well, is what dictates how far you make it in anything, not just pro sports, but also life. And how I saw the players in the locker room after the game, how I saw the players on breakfast the next day before we headed to Monterey, that to me was a turning point this year, is how much these players could absorb adversity, how committed they were and how upset they were after the performance that we had put that led to a very bad result. And I'm going to say something that I've been saying now the last 3 weeks, and I truly mean this. If there was a place besides playing at home that you would have asked me, you're going to play a final versus a rival in the West, I would have said to you, we want to go back to Sacramento and play the final in Sacramento.
Oh, man. That's running through the brick wall material right there, man. No, it's, I mean, listen, head coach Juan Guerra and I on the same page. It really was, right. It was a turning point, not just from like the record standpoint, but just, you know, this team had to realize that if they're going to be a threat, they couldn't just hang by in pure talent alone. And yeah, you know, they're able to squeak by a couple matches where they're able to. But if you really want to contend on a consistent basis, you have to be able to have a system in place. You have to be able to have the movement in place, off ball, the guys in place who know what to do in order to make that happen. And I think that game, yeah, you can say it woke people up and all that stuff, but I think, I don't know, right? It's just like realizing that what you're doing, it's just not always going to work, and you have to adapt. And to this team's credit, they have. Now they have a chance to get a rematch, get a little bit different result last time they go to SAC.
Well, now they have a chance to actually come out of it with a trophy.
Yeah, they do.
Look, I think they had a degree of a revenge match in the fixture back in Phoenix, right? But this one's a bit different.
Oh, way different.
Significantly different. You're back up there in Sacramento. It's going to be, I'd imagine, quite a hostile crowd, right? A lot of the tickets have been sold.
I reckon.
There's some people who have making the trip up there. There are many others who are not making the trip because it's an expensive trip, right? We've got to be honest. We've had to do a lot of we had to do some right digging to find a way to get you up there, didn't we, Max?
I was fine. I booked my flight very early on.
He did. On an airline that we won't name because no free ads, but an airline that means that he's got to try and stash stuff in my suitcase.
I won't try. I will.
Because he can't afford to take a bag on there himself.
I can. It's just not economically feasible.
It's not economically feasible. Okay, Max Simpson. Maybe you should tell that to the guy who says that Rising just spend more money than anyone else in the
Oh, dear gosh, that's a clip. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that later. We'll get to that one later.
Oh, you bear. You poking the bear on that guy.
Oh, we love poking the bear.
Yeah, we do.
Speaking of though, if we're going to speak about that guy though, we talk about San Antonio and the way that they went to Sacramento, shouldn't we? Try and put that in perspective, right? Sacramento's last game. Give us a little bit more background on that team.
Buddy, that's for the next segment.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gosh darn it, stop.
We're talking about Sacramento, though.
Yeah, that's for next segment. I got you.
You want to talk about Rising next segment?
No, next segment is about both. This guy's going off script. Listen, this is why I'm the conductor. Choo choo. I wear the conductor hat of this show, and I'm running. I'm the guy in charge, guys. Everyone, no, but on the real, like, if we actually look real quick again at these two matches, these two teams in their previous matches, I know we touched on it, but even just, I think the thing that keep on sticking out, and it's really noticeable in this Rising playoff run, just the clinicalness, right? It's a clinicalness in front of goal. It's a thing that they were lacking in the first game, right? Phoenix Rising in that first matchup against Sacramento when they traveled to Sacramento. 9 shots, 2 on target, 6 chances created. It wasn't quite there. And then second match around, 7 shots, 3 on target, 8 chances created. Listen, again, it's not like it's less shots. It's slightly more on target, but just it's more chances created. It's more pressure. But again, it's on the other end too. Sacramento, first game, 12 shots, 9 on target, 2.38 XG. Second time around, those numbers are cut dramatically, even more than half. 5 shots, 2 on target, 0.2 XG in a game in which Sacramento scored a goal. And was that, am I misremembering? Was that not it wasn't a penalty, you know? Am I crazy? Am I remembering that wrong? Anyone?
I don't think it was.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it's right 0.2 XG, and they scored 1 goal in the game. Nothing. Oh, yeah, that won't make sense for the penalty. But anyway, right, it was one where Phoenix Rising, they had the majority.
To be fair, you might have just gotten the XG wrong again, as you are prone to.
Anyway, I wasn't the one who put it. It was Statlacky Reese, so we blame him. It was actually probably him.
Stop blaming.
It was probably him who got it wrong in the individual
blaming
graphic.
other people, man.
Anyway, Phoenix Rising.
That was so long ago.
Yeah, but the
that
chat
was
remember
such a long time ago.
It was only like a week ago.
I don't think. Daniel,
like a week
if you
ago.
haven't gone by now, Owen Evans likes to just drudge up the pass because he can. Again, like this is what this man does.
We all do. Like Daniel, you've been here long enough now.
Yeah.
You know what we're all like.
I know. I'm just
Max just
needs one friend in the studio.
It was a week ago.
and I'm
It wasn't
trying to
even
be
that
it.
long ago.
I'm trying to be it.
Oh, we're all friends.
He's got everybody in the office working against him.
I will say, while I'm not
share a desk with this guy, so I'm trying to make him happy.
You know, I appreciate you. And while I'm not defending Owen, this is weirdly how he shows his friendship, by being a prick. Anyway, Phoenix Rising in that first match against Sacramento, right? They dominate possession 60%. It's like, okay, like this is, again, the consistent realm of, hey, Phoenix Rising, dominant possession, where does it go?
There we go. You
50,
think I'm bad? You got Albert in the chat saying Max got a 39 in the state-mandated math test.
What is that out of?
I'm guessing out of 100 if you don't specify.
I mean, listen, man. I
don't think Max knows what a 39
I took the Ames. I took the Ames in high school. I passed. I'm fine.
That's a low bar, mate.
Hey, don't matter. We there, baby. We there. No, but Phoenix Rising in the second match.
No friends for Max.
Non-friends.
Yeah, well, he clearly meant to say no friends.
I don't assume what this man
Taking
knows.
the Ames shows you.
Do they not do Ames anymore?
No, they don't.
Whoa, hold up,
Wait,
Reese.
whoa,
Hold up, Reese. There are two
whoa.
people in here that took the Ames.
Hang on. Wait. Hang on a minute.
Three?
It's free, yeah.
Okay. Wait. Takes the Ames, show your age. I'm not even the oldest one in the room. Also, that just shows how young of a lad you are. Just a wee lad. Style lackey.
To be fair, they haven't done it for a while. He's not wrong.
It's been a long
They
time.
Has it
scrapped
really?
a while ago.
Wait, no, this is not a free ad for Ames or lack thereof. No.
We're not advertising standardized tests.
It doesn't exist
for
anymore.
It does not
State.
It does not exist, right? Well, Phoenix Rising should Ames higher in their upcoming matchup against Sacramento.
Right, this is why I bully him, okay? This is why I bully him. Listen to this guy.
All right, thanks for joining us, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button.
You can't do that, Danielle. He's got ads to read.
Oh man. No, it's if we do go back to these games, right? Oh dear gosh, it's like he's wheezing over here. No,
how are we arguing between standardized tests? We're gonna waste, guys. We got a whole off season that's gonna come up at some point in the next couple of weeks.
Owen, are you an SAT man or an ACT man?
Oh dear gosh.
Now that is no free ads because you got to pay for those.
You do have to pay for those. Dear gosh. Our Thursday shows do usually go off the rails. No, if we Jacob's not even producing. He usually is the one that takes these off the rails. No, if we look at these the two matches that they played, I mean, right, the silver line, not the silver lining, the through line here is, hey, Phoenix Rising, when they're more clinical in front of goal, when they have less possession, and when they take more of their chances, when they play a bit more of that cavalier style of football, this is where they're able they're able to make a difference.
It's no surprise, is it, that when you look at Phoenix Rising and how they've gotten some of these goals, especially the ones that Danny Trejo is getting, what's happening? They're finding good balls through to him. They're finding ways to... I'm not saying... Again, I've said this all season long, and I'm going to keep going on it, right? There's direct football that is grunt ball, right?
Agricultural,
Okay, farmers football is where he's going with this one. Farmers league ball. At the end of the day, no free ads.
Nice. I didn't say.
But I'm just going to ignore the chat at this point because it's getting even worse. But look, there's direct football that is bad in the sense of hoof it forward and see what happens. Or lump it up there. Brexit ball, as some people would say. And then there is football that is direct but is targeted, that is thinking about how you're going to work that one forward, and when you see people ready to make the runs like Danny Trejo, because if you can play that long ball forward, if you can find him in those right moments where he can catch a defender wrong-footed, he can find a way to break past him, get himself one-on-one with the goalkeeper, he doesn't miss those. He doesn't miss those chances. We saw it against San Diego. We saw it against Orange County. He does not miss those chances. So, as you get into that then, look, if you can find ways to play him in like that, you're going to have a great time in Sacramento. But the key thing is, how are they going to adapt to it? Because Mark Briggs has had a lot of success at this level, right? He's a coach who's had success in the Open Cup, beating much better teams than Phoenix Rising are able to ultimately muster going into this one. as you look at it in that sense, how is he going to adapt? How is he going to adjust to make sure that they find ways to prevent Danny Trejo from doing what Danny Trejo does? We saw the stats that the league put out earlier this week. When Danny Trejo scores, Rising get much, 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 much better results than they do when he doesn't find himself on the score sheet. By and large, if Rising are going to have success, they need to find a large amount of that through Danny Trejo.
I have it on record, off the record, that you have said Danny Trejo is the most clinical finisher in the league.
I think well, look, right? You pull the stat numbers from this season, you look at who has outperformed their XG, and there is only one player in the league this season that has outperformed Danny Trejo, and it's Cal Jennings, who is also a very good finisher.
Of course.
And played with him in Vegas. And the fact that Cal Jennings and Danny Trejo together weren't good enough to make Vegas a team that made the playoffs tells you something about Vegas Lights and how bad they are.
Yeah.
And have been.
Yeah.
And continue to be.
Yeah, Mikey's spot on. No free ads, but Danny being sold at a place that sells mattresses because he's the California king. My word, that is absolutely beautiful. That's definitely my material right there. Yeah, man, it's right.
Look, Danny loves scoring in California. High school record goal scorer for California.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we love that. Good, man. Right? Listen, you can say the man's good. You can say he's peaking. And if you want to be peaking as well, check out our friends at 4 Peaks
We're really doing this. That's the transition.
Our friends
That's the transition.
At friends at 4 Peaks, they have you covered. Mr. Owen Evans drinking a nice Suns brew. They are playing tonight. No more. They do sell the Rattle on Red Ale, and I highly recommend grabbing that. But hey, listen, it's a tough night last night, right? Arizona Diamondbacks, thank you guys for a wonderful season. You want to check out some good content, go check out PHNX Diamondbacks podcast. Right? PHNX Suns podcast doing their pregame, but of course you guys are going to go tune in them because you're tuning in to us, right? But you can watch them back, all that stuff. 4 Peaks, they're making a delicious Suns brew. They make one for the Cardinals, the Redbird Lager, everything like that. They're supporting our Valley sports teams, absolutely. If you want to get your hands on a 4 Peaks beverage of your choice, visit 4peaks.com/locator to find one near you. Of course, check them out at 4 Peaks Pub and at 4 Peaks Brew to keep up with all the latest and greatest going on in Arizona's hometown brewery. Of course, you must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. And something else that I highly recommend. Well, this is actually kind of awkward. I don't have it on me, but Shady Rays. You
didn't bring them.
Go get my Shady Rays. You can grab those. Shady Rays. You're an amazing time.
Doesn't know where
Come
they
on,
are.
chop, Blackie. Let's go. What do we? Come on. We think you're on the payroll.
You're gonna show. You're gonna show the world that this is how you treat Statlacky.
Well,
why do you think we bully you, Max, when you treat Statlacky like this?
Don't you act like you are a saint to the Statlacky.
Statlacky's a great guy. We love Statlacky.
Of course, he's a great guy, but it's hard work.
Don't let him treat you like this. It's Mr.
Right.
Simpson.
It's Mr. Simpson. That's right. Shady Rays. Oh, dear gosh. They are polarized as heck, and these lights are bright, but nothing like the brightness that Shady Rays can just block out with no time at all, no effort whatsoever. You just slip them on, that old noggin, that old face, that old holster you call a nose there, and they're no problem at all. It's a good freaking time. Shady Rays, ladies and gentlemen, even if you're going to the Golden State or Sacramento or whatever they call that place, the capital, you can wear Shady Rays. You don't have to make eye contact with anyone there. Put some on your face. It's a good time. Check out shadyrays.com. I got a deal for you. How about you use promo code PHNX to get 50% off 2 pairs of polarized sunglasses. You want one of these? You don't get one. You get 2. 50% off at shadyrays.com. Use promo code PHNX. And again, rated 5 stars or better by over 250,000 people. That's a lot of human beings.
That's a lot of people.
That's 250,000 people. Those counting at home, it's 500,000 eyeballs. Hopefully. Yeah. So we're talking about how these two teams got
Max,
here.
I just need to say again, though.
What's up, dude?
I please take his mic, says Michael.
They've tried for a while now. They've tried for a
quickly
while.
unhook this year and really enjoy the improvement. What a start to this show we've had here.
Listen, we go off the rails. It's towards the end of the season.
We go off the rails. We're getting the train to Sacramento.
Oh no! You can't go off the rails then.
We got a train from Oakland to Sacramento.
Oh dear gosh. Oh man, yeah. I hope we don't go off the rails then.
Are we bringing back up here? Max is 39 out of 100 on his state maths test.
Listen. I'll say this: if we're actually going back, if I'm going to put a bow in this, I'm an ACT guy. Again, no free ads, but ACT 26 out of 36. It's routinely.
You remember
in the
that?
average.
The fact that you remember that gives strong peaked in high school vibes, mate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Who remembers what they got on a test like that?
Number one, first off, I remember random things. Okay. Number two, if 26 out of 36 is peaking in high school, that's not good. That's certainly not good. So I did not do that.
Max, I didn't mean it as a compliment, mate.
And number three, I remember those things because I'm clearly very good at numbers and remembering the numbers and putting the right numbers on there. But anyway,
unless they're XG.
And look,
Stop laughing.
and you're still worse at the fantasy league, buddy. What does that say? Gosh. Anyway, oh my goodness. Looking at how these two teams have made it up to this point.
Oh, that's right. This is a soccer podcast.
Oh, yeah, it's a soccer podcast. There's something in here. No,
It's a Bully and Max podcast is what this is.
Looking at how these two teams have got here, right? Let's look, we already know Phoenix Rising's road, right? Kicking off, beating San Diego. Some might have say they sent them into a certain place. And then
why are you like awkwardly edging around this? Phoenix Rising killed San Diego Loyal. They ultimately delivered the final stake to the heart to ensure that the vampire that is San Diego Loyal can never rise again. The club's gone. They're done. They're actually being picked at, like, you've got these vultures going around. El Paso Locomotive sweeping in and taking Elijah Martin. You've got Rhode Island going, I want Coque Vegas. They're picking at the bones of a dead club right now.
So you can contextualize that.
Okay.
It's so morbid, but you're not wrong. Anyway, yes, they
don't
they
jump around, like, dance around it. We can just say what it is.
What if we dance around? Boils in a box. There you go. All right. So Phoenix Rising takes San Diego Loyal into extra time, into deep waters, beat them. Phoenix Rising, go to Orange County, take them to deep waters, beat them. They now go on the road to Sacramento, right? We know this. This is what's done. Sacramento, their road, a little bit different. First round, a 1-0 victory to New Mexico United. Listen, Phoenix Rising got knocked off by New Mexico United. Again, it was an ugly end to the unbeaten run. And say what you want about them, New Mexico. They made the playoffs. What did you gather from Sacramento's victory over New Mexico?
That they can beat a bad team. New Mexico and New Mexico, right? We've got to be honest here, right?
Mm.
Rising lost that game at home, and it felt as though in a lot of ways New Mexico wanted it more.
Mm.
They came in on decent form at the end of the season,
Sure.
But we do need to still remember the fact that New Mexico United are not a good team.
Yeah.
Okay? And I don't think they went to Sacramento and really looked particularly great at that. Now, meanwhile, Sacramento didn't create a lot in that game.
Yeah.
Okay? 0.41 XG for Sacramento Republic against New Mexico. New Mexico had a higher XG than them.
Yeah.
Okay? However, as you'd expect, right? Sacramento take the lead early. Yeah, what New Mexico really going to offer?
True.
Right? And that's the thing, right? They had 2 shots on target all game in that game, New Mexico.
Okay.
So look, I think they were all right defensively there, Sacramento. But we saw that happen when they took on Rising, right? I mean, Rising could have had a couple of opportunities early doors in that game when Rising went up there to Sacramento, but they didn't take them. And so when Sacramento take the lead, they can defend. I mean, New Mexico had a lot of the possession. Rising had a lot of the possession up there, right? Reasonable number of shots, but couldn't get anything on target. Again, that's the challenge, right? The challenge is finding ways to put the ball on target. New Mexico couldn't do that.
No, they cannot. And
made it easy on them in that sense.
They did, right? I mean, it's a low XG game on both sides. Both teams under 1 expected XG. But then you kind of look at the next match. Okay, this is different. This is an opponent in San Antonio, right? Again, defending champions. It's not quite the same team. Definitely some different pieces in there. Some might say there is not some of their best guys. Particularly, I know there was a lot of consternation within the goalkeeping position. But hey, Sacramento, they get it done 3-1. And really, you kind of watch that game. It really was never in doubt. When you look at it, a quite comprehensive performance.
Well, the first half, I think San Antonio weren't played off the park.
I'm not saying they were played off the park, but I think once the goal came through.
As soon as the goals go through, yes. I think that San Antonio, to me, in the second half, I didn't see enough from them that made me think they were ever going to come back in that game. Okay, they ultimately get that one goal. They get it in deep into stoppage time when it's far too late to have any real impact in that one. Look, I just get the feeling as we look at this. I mean, again, San Antonio were in the game in the first half. What could they not do, Max? What were they unable to muster up a single time in the first half?
I'm going to go with a shot.
On target, yes. Yeah. So they had shots, couldn't get them on target. Second half, Sacramento find the way to take the lead. And it's all downhill from there in terms of San Antonio. They actually had more shots on target in the second half, San Antonio, with 5, but the expected goal value was 0.19. That is atrocious. And what does that tell you? They are not taking good shots.
Nope. I mean, different way this match played out right. I mean, Sacramento kept pace in a way with San Antonio's shots and shots on target. They lapped them. Again, the match against New Mexico, they had less shots, only one more on target. But again, it just goes back to more clinicalness, putting more shots on target, making them count more often when they needed to. Possession was even in both those matches. So what does that tell us, right? I mean, I know we already talked about it a lot in the previous segment, but this matchup against Phoenix Rising, you're seeing one team, right? Very much likes to have possession most of the time. This is Phoenix Rising, right? It's not that Sacramento doesn't want to, but it shows that both of these teams, this isn't a freaking news flash or anything revolutionary. If these two teams are clinical and they have a good number of shots, the one who is going to be putting more on target and making them count, that's what's ultimately going to come through, right? I think we've seen these two teams, when they get a little bit too particular, if they're only putting in something along the lines of, let's say, 5 shots, 2 on target, or 6 shots, 3 on target, whatever, I don't think that's going to do it. I think these two teams, when they have gotten the job done, it's not only they're having more shots, but it's more importantly getting those on target rather than, hey, we're only going to limit ourselves to a few quality chances a game. These two teams need to create chances, and I'm hoping, even from a neutral's perspective, that this is a very open game, one that Phoenix Rising should enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, if it's an open game, then I think that opens up things more for Phoenix Rising.
Yes, it does.
I get the feeling that David Beckham in the chat, apparently. I mean, Rising being apparently the Inter Miami of USL Championship, I suppose, lends to why you'd want to show up here. But
did you watch the doc?
No, I did not watch the documentary. But look, if you look at how they've done over the course of the entire season, as I wait for the stats to load, not the quickest here, but as you look at how they've done over the entire season, Sacramento have taken 452 shots, 165 on targets. Yeah. Phoenix Rising have taken 428 with 141 on target. So actually not a whole lot of difference in there. But when you look at the games when Sacramento do well, a very, very, very large percentage of those shots are on target, okay? Mm-hmm. I mean, they're a team of one way or another, really, in those things. I think Harry's got a point here in that if it's 0-0 at half, advantage Sac Republic. I don't think it necessarily is anymore.
I agree. Harry, I get what you're saying, and I think maybe based on Sacramento's performances, totally fair. But you also have to look at Phoenix Rising's performances.
Yeah.
They've gone tied at halftime. They've conceded goals early.
Huge
it don't matter.
Time.
I think this team has again, until Phoenix Rising is out and that final whistle blows, you can't count them out.
No, you can't. I mean, multiple goals maybe. We haven't seen them come back from multiple goals down. But I'm intrigued by it, right? I think one of the big key things is teams look better when they force Sacramento to possess a little bit more of the ball. Although there's not a huge amount of difference in it necessarily. Yep. I think overall, look, again, you've got Sacramento Republic are scoring in a lot of their games. It's actually 5 games in a row now that they've scored in. So, I mean, obviously you've got to be careful around Russell Cicerone, right? He's just a guy who's going to get a lot of goals. He has done over the course of the season 16 so far in the season. He leads them in terms of goals scored. I don't know. I mean, I'm intrigued. The question, of course, we're kind of hinting at this one. Some people in there saying things and stop. No score predictions. We don't do score predictions in the playoffs, do we, Max?
No,
we
not
don't
for Phoenix
do
Rising.
it. Not for Phoenix Rising. Cease. Stop it in the chat.
Stop that.
Behave. But obviously we know a lot about Rising struggling with getting things done in 90 minutes. That one came up today in the press conference talking about what's been up with there. It's been since 2018 since Rising's won a playoff game in 90 minutes.
Well, I don't know. It's first one because there's a penalty call in San Diego in the last minute. Is that clear? We would have won it in 90, but there was a penalty, and then we had to go to overtime, extra time. And then in OC, it was a close game. It was a good game in which first half I wasn't too pleased or too happy. We made some tactical adjustments, and we were much better then for the next 60 minutes. Listen, if you ask me, I don't care if we win it in 90 or if we win it in 120 or if we win it in penalty kicks. At the end of the day, the important thing is that we keep advancing and that we keep winning, and the boys keep believing. We have enough depth in this team to make sure that we can make substitutions and keep getting better. That has been key now in this playoffs, is giving the opportunity to every single player that's on the bench, except of Patrick, to see minutes in the game. So at the end of the day, we have the tools, we have the assets to be able to go for 120 minutes or penalties, and we prepare for absolutely everything through the week.
I mean, he's right? You know, at the end of the day, do you really care if you do it in 90 minutes? You just got to do it.
Yeah.
You just got to do it.
You're wrong. I mean, these two teams, man, even with like the 4-0 match to me is an anomaly. And I'm not even just talking about the score. I'm not even talking about like these two teams like in their past history. I feel that the way that these two teams have been balanced in recent years, the powers that they've been, and yes, I know Phoenix Rising is a very different roster. You just can't count out either one. I even felt that way going into Sacramento versus San Antonio. These two teams have just been powerhouses. You know, yes, Sacramento ended up pulling away, but just you look at like where these two are weighted in their position within the league over the last couple of years, and who's to say that we have an outright winner, right? Again, 90 minutes very well may not decide it. It would not surprise me. Who cares? Like, in my mind, who cares whether or not it goes full distance or not? Because all that matters is who moves on, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of looking at how these two, like, especially on Sacramento, right? Recent runs, people already know, right? Last year's playoffs, knocked out the West semifinals to Colorado Springs. They, of course, had the Open Cup run, made it all the way to the finals.
2022,
of course, 2020, right? They get bounced in Phoenix Rising. 2019, make it to
2020, of course, being that game,
yes,
by the
of
way.
course,
That game. The Solomon Asante, the hand of Solo, or fist, or punch the ball in the back of the net of Solo, or however you want to call it. But he did punch the ball into the net, and that was a 1-0 win for Rising in extra time.
True. 2019, they make it all the way to the semis, lose to El Paso. And then, right, Phoenix Rising, they have their own history. 2021, of course, dear gosh, the tough one against RGV, losing on pens. 2020, right, made it to the final. Oh, we're not going to... Or the West Final. Excuse me, West Final, of course. That was the season where we know what happened in the final, or what didn't happen in the final. There you go. And then, made it to the Western Finals on that one. And then 2019... Western semis, right, lose there, right? So these two teams, they have gone to this point before, but it's now time to go to the next leg. It'll be very, very fascinating to see what happens out of that. Again, we're not doing score predictions.
I will say on this one that before we move on a little bit, actually, we went through a load of history there with playoffs, but let's hear from someone who doesn't have a load of history with the playoffs in particular, especially here with newest arrival from Phoenix Rising, John Stenberg, did speak. I asked him about, what it's been like experiencing this for the first time. Here's what he had to say.
Actually, I love it. When I got here I think I got here 1st of August, we did a couple of good games going into the playoffs. Obviously, we didn't finish the season as we wanted to, but we still had a good feeling going into the playoffs. So I love this when all is on the line for one game. I love that. So it feels good.
Feels good.
Feels good. You know what else feels good? Seeing certain fans of certain teams crying on social media.
Oh man.
Are we gonna go for this? We're gonna go for this.
Honestly, this makes sense either now or in the fantasy segment we're talking about. Let's
do it. This guy from San Antonio crying away on social media. Phoenix Rising spent so much money to jack up their roster this season. It's insane. They'll spend every penny in the desert before they admit that Juan Guerra is the worst coach in USL and can't compete without spending 3 times his opponent on a roster. Well, you know what I have to say, Mr. San Antonio guy that was tweeting yesterday? Cry more. Cry more. It's just funny, right? Because there are some teams, right, that if I was to be serious now and talk about this and wanted to look at things like...
You literally said cry more and then we got another like.
I know, yeah. We say cry more and we get another like. But like, if I wanted to talk about, I don't know, someone like Oakland, right, wanted to make that kind of comment and they wanted to come out with stuff like saying, well, you guys spend a lot of money. Yeah, Rising does spend a lot of money, okay? There are teams that spend a lot of money in this league. But San Antonio are also a team that spends a good amount of money. And so it just seems weird to me, really weird to me, that this team is getting stick from a San Antonio fan about spending money. Like, what do you think the guys who play for San Antonio do it for cheap? You've got a lot of really expensive players on that team as well.
Yeah.
When you return guys who just won the league, what do you think? Do you think you've got bad players on there? Do you think that some of these guys are doing it out of the love of their heart? You think guys like Patino, you think guys like Hernandez are doing it for, that's a cheap? You think a guy like Tainter that Rising were interested in signing at one point but couldn't really afford to? He's doing it for cheap. You think these guys are cheap? You think bringing in a guy who's going to replace your USL Championship goalkeeper of the year so that you can put him on the bench? Right or wrong decision? I'm not getting into that one. But you think they're coming in cheap? You think they're coming in cheap? Really? No, you're spending a lot of money as well, right? And that's the thing. It's just amusing, right, to see this kind of mudslinging stuff, because this has happened for years, right? We have been to the point we've seen, actually, I think it was a San Antonio broadcaster once said this as well, about how Rising spend the most in the league, which isn't true, based on how we understand it, right? They're up there. They're definitely up there. Doesn't mean they have the highest payroll in the league. But it's just amusing always to see this kind of thing get lobbed around as though other teams up at the top aren't also spending large sums of money on teams. Right? Look, again, we have seen San Antonio have some very good players. We know there are other teams at low levels of the world. We know that people like Indy spend money, and they seem to spend money without getting the success on the other end, which is that's amusing. That's amusing, right? We see teams that spend a lot of money and don't really get very much. But it's just something that always completely mystifies me. How exactly you get these guys who'll come out and use that as just you spend a lot of money. Yeah. Good players in this league do make good money, right? He was also trying to say things about the trade for what they sent Babukar Jai up for in exchange for Derek Formella, and is then trying to use transfer market to justify how there must have been more in the deal. Well, smart guy. Yeah. I'm sure you really know exactly what was going on in that deal, but maybe we just stop making things up. Maybe it helps, right? Does it help when we just stop making things up?
Yeah, I mean, this is now. I'm just kind of I'm listening to you. I'm not watching the chat. This is now devolved into now bashing on Victor Wembanyama and Harry in the chat. That's not fair. We don't have to do that. We don't have to go there. But okay, now we're talking bashing KD. This is not. If you want to do this, go over. PHNX Suns podcast is doing a pregame. Go shout at them.
No, don't actually stay here.
Actually, stay here. Yeah, stay here, and then go.
Go shout them in the post game.
Yeah, go shout them.
Go shout them in the post game when we're not live.
Yeah,
but they are.
Yeah. But no, it's I mean, it's one of those things, right? Phoenix Rising has never shied away that like they do spend on a premium. They want to bring in the best players that they can, but like the comment of three times the what do you say? 3 times the league average or whatever, or like anything just
3 times
absurd.
Their opponents. That is nonsense.
That's just absurd.
That's just pulling numbers,
buddy. Like what do you think the margins are within this league? Like I'm just. That's not
it's the school of Max Simpson XG statistics. Okay? We got a very loud laugh from producer Danielle to that one.
I hate to say it, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty absurd. That's absolutely, it's pretty bonkers.
I'm still going to stand up for Max. We had a chance to look over that graphic. I asked it, and you were like, nah, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
I was punished for trusting this guy.
It wasn't me. They changed, I swear.
Can we go back? Do you think Goalie Pat says, can we go back to bullying Max? Anything's better than NBA chat.
Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, no, it's just crazy to make that like 3 times the league average.
It's just
like again, there's nothing wrong with wanting to spend more money, win, but also let's also address the point that head coach Juan Guerra is the worst in the league, and whether that's even related to spending this supposed 3 times the league average. Do you know how many teams?
My guy, Hartford have fired 2 coaches this year.
Do you know
Hartford have fired 2 coaches in the same season?
there have been teams that have done more with less and teams that have done less with more. Regardless how you chop it up, it is not easy to make it to the Western Conference Finals, let alone in a year that was supposed to be rebuilding, where if you make playoffs, that's the minimum. And yes, this team had top 4 aspirations, as we've said so along in this podcast. But the fact that they are able to be at this point now with an entirely gutted roster, stands for like 3 players now, like, what more do you want, man? Like, I don't care what you say. The amount of like time it takes for that chemistry to gel and everything like that. Like, cool. We said we are avoiding bulletin board material. Well, you know what? That just gave Phoenix Rising some right there.
Yeah. No, I mean, we'll make bulletin board material for Rising.
We're hot. We're riding a little high. I think we need to chill out a bit with our friends at OG's Brands. All right, OG's Brands. Nice little indica.
What's the best transition you've done for a little while?
It's gonna mellow out.
But I know you're gonna really wreck it with the one after this. So go on, finish this one out.
It's tough. It's tough. But hey, friends at OG's Brands, right? They will make sure that you just kind of mellow out, right? It's good balance. They do even have their happy balance of strawberries and cream, a little CBD, THC balance in there for all those who like a little bit of that balance in there. Of course, they got the indicas, the sativas, the fruits, the creams, everything like that. It's literally delicious. If anyone's had an OG's Brands, it's absolutely phenomenal because it just tastes darn good. It's not that weird aftertaste like a lot of these other gummies have, right? No weird aftertaste. Absolutely phenomenal. Get yourself some on your own. And, if you're going to get some, I think you want to save money while doing it. I'm no doctor, but that's pretty darn good stuff. Head over to ZenLeafDispensaries.com. Find the closest location near you. You order a pack of OG's gummies and use promo code PHNX for 25% off your order. Again, ZenLeafDispensaries.com. Promo code PHNX, 25% off your order. We're doing this for next month, people. Okay? Get it going. It's going a good time. Edward says Max is buying OG's. Oh, man, don't tempt me with a good time. But yes, must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. Shout out OG's. Of course, shout out to friends of Valley Tap Room, right? We've been showing the game on during this Rising Run. They will be showing the game as well on Saturday night. For those of you who are on the east side who would like to go on over, Don will be showing it, right? Good beers there, everything like that.
Good time, 30 taps, loads of good stuff. We've had some great nights there. Yeah. And I tell you what, I'm sure we'll have to have some kind of like social meetup at some point over the off season.
We have already said
Make sure we head on over to Valley Tap Room. We'll be there with everyone. Max may or may not be buying beers. We can't confirm or deny at this point. But
the fact that you even said like that Max may be buying beers and you can't confirm, that's very
fine. Max is buying beers. Max will buy you beers. He wants me to say it. I'll say it.
I was just concerned.
You want me to say it? I'll say it. Max is buying beers.
That really took a lot.
When you're ready to say cheers, don't forget Max is buying beers.
Anyway, shout out friends at Valley Tap Room. Of course, go check them out if you're on the east side. If you would like to watch the game there, have some good times. Of course, check them out on 202 and Gilbert in person, and check them out on Instagram at Valley Tap Room. All right, Owen. The last couple of weeks we've been doing that whole fantasy thing, right? And boy, I reckon we got another week of it.
We got another week of it, right? Time to talk about our fancy selections.
Yeah,
for the conference finals. This one's a hard one because you only got 4 teams left.
Are we? By the way, is there one next week? Or is this
for the final? One? Yeah, there'll be one for the final, sure. But that one will be like a 6 from one team, 5 from the other.
That makes sense.
Kind of thing.
Okay, fair.
It'll be a challenge. It'll be a challenge, but here we go. Right, I'm gonna go with my formation. You go with yours, and then we'll kind of alternate around. I'm gonna go old school. I'm going old school. We're going really old school here. I'm going a 4-4-2. Let's go.
Copying me. I took a 4-4-2 as well.
Take a 4-4-2. Right, my goalkeeper. I'm going with none other than the man himself from Phoenix Rising, Rocco Rios Novo. 9.5 he cost me.
Oh, Evan, stop copying me. I also chose Rocco Rios Novo.
You chose Rocco Rios Novo as well. Mine already picked. You can see I've got my
Stop looking at my screen, dude.
I'm looking at his screen. Defenders. I'll go with my defenders first. You can go with your midfielders first after.
Wait, what?
Well, I'm doing defenders. You do defenders. Then you do midfielders.
Yeah, I thought you said you do defenders. Then I do midfielders.
Halfway through.
That doesn't make sense.
Right, so I'm going to do defenders. I'm going to take Sean Touch from Lou City. 12.5.
I almost took it.
I think that's an all right chat. I'm going to go Jared Timmer from Sacramento Republic.
Yep.
Not enough. And then I'm going cheap. You saw me use Mo Traore last week at 4. I think a decent value shout.
Sure.
I was thinking a great value shout down there is Mark Segbers, right? He's really tanked. His value is tanked. And you know why it's tanked? Because he played for Miami. And Miami not good, but they transferred him across. So he's available at 3, the minimum price, and he's playing games. He's playing games.
I don't like you. I don't like your face right now.
So Mark Segbers from Charleston.
I don't like your face right now because you picked my players. Stop copying me. I'm clearly crushing this
before you did.
I'm clearly crushing this, and you're copying me.
I picked these before you did.
Anyway, I picked Shane Witt. Oh gosh, I'm going to struggle with this name. Shane White with Sacramento Republic.
Who scored against Rising the last time they
at
met.
11. I'm also picking his teammate Jared Timmer, also from Sacramento Republic at 9.5. Picking Eddie Manjoma. Okay, Gores at 7. Right there. I like this. I like the value, right? He's been putting in some good shifts. He had a lot of threatening positions. We saw it in person against Orange County. Maybe he bags a goal. Maybe he bags an assist. Would be nice. And then, of course, I also got Mike Segbers. You're looking at it. This man has only played, five, 6, 7 matches for Charleston. Again, yes, because he was with Miami. Man's been starting. Man's been playing a lot of minutes, making things happen. I think he even had an assist in the opening round against Indy 11. Great value there at 3.
Well, see, I did the whole spread them around thing whereby I took one from each team in defense.
That's cute. I didn't.
Which means that I'm likely, hopefully, if there is a clean sheet, I'll get some points for a clean sheet.
No, see, I hedge everything. I hedge everything.
All right. Anyway, Max, give me your midfielders. You got 4 of them, right?
Yes, I do. All right, I got Phoenix, former Phoenix Rising player Arturo Rodriguez, 9.5 Charleston Battery. I'm rolling once again with Emi Ikaza at for 9. Also Charleston Battery, right? He did well for me last week. Going with him again. Got Tyler Gibson, Louisville City at 7. And then his teammate Carlos Mogul Jr., 6.5, Louisville City. Okay,
that's interesting. Because I actually got a little bit of Again, there is some crossover there.
Stop cheating!
Mainly because I did pick Emilio Icaza as well, and I did pick Carlos Mogul Jr.
I swear.
Who I had in the first week. I picked him, and he did well for me. So I'm taking him again. Lou City, he's 6.5. Emilio Icaza, as you said earlier, 9 from Charleston Battery. But I'm also going to go with Sacramento Luis Felipe in midfield at 7.5. And I'm also going to take Charleston's 12.5 rated Fidel Barajas. Okay. Which means now we move up top. Max, have you run out of Rising players at this point?
No.
You haven't?
No.
You must have.
No. I only have.
Didn't you?
No.
Who have you picked so far?
But
no, you picked Rocco and you picked Eddie. So yeah,
yes.
You're fine. You've got your one. You
freaking Excel sheet says I'm fine. All right. Anyway, I picked once again for the 3rd consecutive week. I have picked the highest rated Machete. Yes, Danny Trejo at 14. And then I picked Russell Cicerone. Listen, I know what that means. That means that am I hoping both these guys score? Well, yes, I am.
Well, I went with Trejo as well, but I'm going to stick with someone else who served me well last week over on the east side, Loose City's Cameron Lancaster coming in at 12.
Yeah, I almost did that.
Cameron Lancaster, of course, we saw him get a brace last week. I think he's still got some goals in him.
I just want to
see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't want to say this. If we're recapping this man picked the same goalie as me, and at every single position group picked at least half the same players I do. If I don't finish either above or similar level to him, accuse this man. Look into this man's allegations.
No, like Cameron Lancaster hat trick or something.
No, cheating.
Hang on, mate. You picked Rocco? You picked Timmer?
Yes.
You didn't take Traore or Segbers. No. Segbers, did you?
Segbers, yes.
You did pick Segbers.
Yes.
You did take Icaza.
Yes.
And you did take Miguel Jr.
Yes.
You didn't take Luis Felipe or Barajas.
No.
And you took Trejo.
Yep.
You didn't take Lancaster.
Correct.
So we share 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players.
Literally cheating.
So about half
you
the
are
team.
Literally cheating.
About half the team is the same.
Cheating.
He says cheating. It's just the nature of this game, right? It's the same as when you play Fantasy Premier League and everybody has Haaland. Everyone has Haaland. It's annoying because everyone has Haaland, but you can't not pick him.
I mean, Reese asked a question, does this mean Max is going to finish first or Owen is going to be mid? Can't be going to be mid when you're already mid. That's what I like to say.
I'm currently top in the overall table. I finished second both weeks.
Yeah, but you're mid as a
You're the one who's mid.
Yeah, but you're mid as a human being.
Oh, that's harsh.
Oh. Those that sound audio are like, huh?
He's trying to call me mid here, and we all know that's just his mathematical skills.
No, but I'm max, bro. It's literally the top. Like, that is like quite literally the maximum. That is anything but mid. Anyway, sorry, I gotta talk to my parents about naming me for that one. Anyway, yeah, that's what we got. So right, well, you'll calculate everything. You'll do your whole calculus, calculator, abacus.
No, we're not repeating them, Devon. Pick your own lineup. Stop trying to copy.
Devon, wait, the man? Yeah, I was gonna say, Devon, I'll just do it again.
He practically copied me in the first week, and you know what he did? He dropped 1 or 2 players that actually did really well on my team, and as a result, he fell down.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are we talking?
He catches him for Spurs.
No, he's talking about for Harry because he's a Spurs fan. That's so
No,
uncalled for, Mikey. Unbelievable. He's still in the chat. He's being a nice guy. He's definitely not talking about me.
You're a Spurs fan, Max.
No, I'm a Tottenham fan. He's talking about Spurs like the NBA team. They're playing the Suns
he's talking
right
about Spurs like the one that doesn't come up when you search Spurs as the first choice.
I mean, that's fair. We're in the US. I would be shocked if they did. Yeah. Anyway,
you don't win
your name is
so,
Maximum
there's not
Simpson.
relevance,
I mean, like, it's not my full name, but yeah. Anyway,
his middle name is Cringe. Maximum Cringe Simpson.
It's kind of weird. No, if we are talking about middle names that start with C, Circle K. Circle K starts with a C.
This is what I'm talking about.
Circle K starts with a C, folks. And only thing I see is some great deals thanks to their Inner Circle program. Hello. You can be in their Inner Circle program. It's super easy. You just download the Circle K app for free. And you put it in your phone number for free. Opt into Inner Circle program. And you get a bunch of amazing.
Wait, Max, what was that? You're whispering it. I didn't hear what you were saying.
Oh, it's for free.
You can say it full volume, man.
It's for free.
That's for free, yeah.
Anyway, check out the Inner Circle program. Of course, you get discounted gas fill-ups on your first 5 fill-ups, right? You get also consistent gas fill-ups the entire time that you are an Inner Circle member, which could be forever and ever and ever, right? You get, free Polar Pops, 5 free Polar Pops, discounted snacks. They just send you deals. They send you deals like, hey, I hear I bet you like, like a Gatorade or Powerade, no free ads, but you like this sports drink. You like this snack here. You got this Circle K pizza, all these different things. They just send you the good stuff, the discount stuff. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Why are you making it sound like Circle K are chatting you up?
They're not chatting me up.
It's the way you're making it sound.
Well, like the app is being like, hey, would you like this offer? It's pretty cool. I mean, it's not
when you put it like that, it sounds more normal.
Don't.
And good.
Yeah. The Inner Circle program is good.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, check out yeah, absolutely. Check out the Circle K Inner Circle program. Again, all you need is a phone number. Download it today. Circle K app. Boom. Get it done. Go on, Pat Maximus. Decimus. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Man. Well, this show got off the rails as it so normally does. Of course, I want to shout out the diehards in the chat. Everyone being awesome, right? Albert, everyone in the chat just being good people. Right? Join us on the Discord, right? We're always posting stuff. You're going to get a lot of diehard exclusive train content. That will be
there. Max is going in the train. Along with a few of the rest of us as well to get to Sacramento.
Oh, yeah.
So if this gets off the rails, much like the show...
I really hope the train doesn't get off the rails. Yeah. We are in trouble if it gets off the rails.
Very much in trouble.
Oh, man. All right. But yes, of course, check, as you see on screen, for those of you who are watching. If you're not watching, check out phnxlocker.com, right? I'm wearing merch. We got the merch on screen, the scarf, the shirt, everything like that. It's great freaking stuff. Right? If you guys demand enough, Rising does well enough. Listen, we might have to badger, Eric and Dwayne. I think it's a freaking new Phoenix Rising shirt, especially if certain someone wins a couple more games.
Yeah,
got some stuff to happen.
Yeah.
You guys will get that too. But right, check out phnxlocker.com. Come die hard, get the merch discounts. Just get some fun stuff, everything like that. Appreciate you guys supporting us. Holy heck. Oh my gosh.
There we go.
I didn't know that
Buy
existed.
it.
That's amazing.
Look how fun that looks.
Oh my gosh.
You too can have that much fun.
You can be
whimsical.
whimsical.
You wear the t-shirt.
Whimsical.
But you have to buy the t-shirt.
Yes, you do. The t-shirt,
but you
the
can
scarf.
have that much fun.
Yes, you can have that much fun and
very
more.
much so.
Oh, let's go. Oh yeah. Oh wait, Mike. Michael wants to do a ski you. You ski
if Rising win the league.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll do it.
You really mean that too.
I never actually agreed to that one before. I'll agree to it on that.
What
condition.
A nice guy.
Rising win the league. There we go.
We have a clip. Anything else you'd like to say to the people?
That's fine. No. We got a few different things actually to go through here. I want you to kind of finish up your thing because we've got a video that we're going to want to end on. So you finish up.
You can play the video first.
No. We want it's a fun 5 people up one. So we
sure.
want to make sure it's as late as possible.
This is fair.
Okay, do you see my point?
This is fair. You are
so
right.
I'm going to let you go through whatever trolling you want to do now because I know that something's coming.
There's no trolling. All I'm saying is, listen, I think we're all feeling good about Phoenix Rising. But I think some of us, if you had to give me your reaction, or someone in this room gave me their reaction of how they're feeling about Phoenix Rising, I think there's only one way to summarize it. For those of you who are watching, there we go. That's exactly what our reaction is. Absolutely fantastic. We're feeling great about Phoenix Rising. A thumbs up there from
Stat Lackey looks like he hasn't slept in weeks.
Rumor has it he may not.
I was on that van. He was in that van. My man
in
was
that van.
car sick. I can tell he was car sick on that one.
Yeah. Oh gosh. we're not talking about Devin. Yeah, that's all I had. Here we go.
All right. Well, you know what? I tell you what, we will actually get the one video in here now before we do our full-on sign-off. But someone listening to this, been talking a little bit about the project that Rising are doing and the roles that everyone's playing.
You think a lot, right? You think a lot of possible outcomes, but at the end of the day, we have to stay calm and we have to stay very positive, understanding and what are the things that we need to do in order to get a positive outcome at the end of the week. When you're asking me the question and you're using the word, you said what I was building, and yes, when I came in, it was my vision at first. I grabbed that pen and that white sheet of paper and I started writing what the vision will be and what the idea will be for the year and then also many years after this. But at the end of the day, that was just my idea on a pen and on a white sheet of paper. Now it's what we are building, Owen, because at the end of the day, it's also you guys, and you guys are part of this as well. It's what the organization is building, what the players are building, what the coaching staff is building, what the staff that works on game day when we play at home, what they're building, what the supporter groups are building. It's a we. It's not an I anymore. It was an idea at first, and then that idea becomes an idea that is shared by a lot of people, and that is the process. That is the vision, and that's what we're talking about, and that's what we're building over here. Now we have the opportunity to play a final. I think everyone should enjoy that, and I can guarantee you that the group is focused, that the group is ready, and that we are arriving to this final mentally very, very strong, and understanding that we have a massive opportunity to put Phoenix backward where it belongs.
Oh, let's go. All business.
All business.
Business, man. On Saturday. We're looking forward to it.
Make sure as well, by the way, remember tomorrow morning, Friday morning, the team having their open training there for the fans to come along and watch the boys training at the stadium before they head off to Sacramento. Show the support for the boys. Remind them that you're behind them. Of course, I know, again, it's an expensive trip. A lot of people are not going to be making the trip up to Sacramento on this short notice. So it's a great opportunity to get out there and back the boys.
Yeah. Back those boys, folks. Appreciate everyone joining us here on the PHNX Rising podcast course. We got a lot of content coming out this week, and again, some diehard exclusive stuff that will be in Discord. Of course, we are going to post some stuff right on our Twitter at PHNX__rising, double the underscore.
Half the spinach on the pizza.
For
those of you who watched our pod on Tuesday, you'll understand that reference.
Double the bell peppers. Yep. Yeah, follow on there. A lot of good content. You can follow me on Twitter at Max David Simpson. You can follow Owen on Twitter at OJEvans18. You can follow that thumbs upping lad, sat like you Reese, at Reese11_. You can follow Danielle on Twitter at Abraca Danielle. Listen, guys, this is a fun run. We never know how long these things last. Really got to soak it up.
This could be the last game of this season where that logo under there is relevance.
So, I got to quote my man, Sean DePaz. He's no longer with us. He's very much alive. I just want to throw that out there.
You tried to kill him, Max. You tried to kill him.
Context.
You put stuff he's allergic to on his desk.
It was completely covered.
You tried to kill him. He came on the show. He came on the show and said that you tried to kill him. He did say that. He said it's true. You tried to kill him. Don't invoke his name when you did that.
Just like Phoenix Rising.
I've killed that moment for you now, haven't I?
Got the killer instinct.
Absolutely killed that moment.
I was really building up to something. Anything.
All right, but go on. Do it then, Max.
You can't kill my vibe over here. As the Sean DePaz, who is no longer with us but still very much alive, says, it's a beautiful game, but it's way more beautiful when you're in the fucking offs!
We all silly like the mayor.